some of these examples of the FBI not just becoming informants of a plot or pointing up to people they think will commit a crime so that they can then stop the crime being committed, but actually encouraging and enabling and funding the crimes, basically creating the criminal conspiracy themselves just to arrest someone who never would have committed a crime. It's almost hard to believe up until this point in our country that this would happen as often as it does.
I wouldn't have believed it myself. In fact, just a few years ago, if someone came to me, I would have thought that they were making it about North Korea or some other country. So the very fact that these sort of defining features of police states have now crept to the United States is really a matter of great alarm. It's also a matter of great alarm because ours is a country explicitly founded on the affirmation of basic rights which are not negotiation. If you think about our constitutional structure, our Bill of Rights, the key point, the key meaning of having a Bill of Rights is that that's not up for political negotiation. The majority of people do not have the right to cancel out your right to free speech or my right to conscience. That is outside, in a sense, of politics. You just need constitutional amendments of supermajorities that are, again, to be able to trample on those rights. Except one way you can't trample on them is you start ignoring the Constitution or trying to find ways around it. And so what happens typically in the case of censorship is the government doesn't want to directly censor, they don't want to be busted with a head of the procedure, so they hand off the list of people to be banned to an intermediary, typically a non-profit. They stand for Internet Observatory. Hey, Morality Project, we got a list for you. You give that list to Google or to YouTube or to Facebook and let them ban all these people, and that way we are censoring at one step removed, and maybe the courts won't be able to bust us, for doing it. So this is a creepy time in America, I would say, and while we're not right there in terms of our police state, it is incredible how far we have come in such a short time. I mean, look at our basic liberties: free speech, freedom of conscience, right to assemble, right to petition, right to hear progressive grievances, and equal rights and equal justice under the law. Now, are a single one of those rights now completely secure? No. They're all
shoot it down!
And you talk about January 6th extensively in this movie, and you talk about it differently than a lot of the other parts. There's been reporting on the right from fantastic journalists.
Really dumbass. I mean, really.
As well. You come at it, you call it January 6th, or what the government did to these defendants, to the Reich. And there's an unwritten rule in politics that you don't compare anything else in the world that's happening to what happened in Nazi Germany. And yet, the argument that was laid out about why January 6th is serving the same purpose that the Reichstag fire did in Nazi Germany, it makes sense. You explain that to us?
The important thing when you do these kinds of analogies is to be kind of precise. So typically when people think of Nazis, many different images float into our heads. The Holocaust, the crystal box smashing of Jewish stores, of course the final solution of the Holocaust. So the Reichstag fire was at the very beginning of Hitler. He was chancellor, but he didn't have dictatorial powers. In fact, there were many people so it's possible that Germany could have gone down a completely different road. But then of course, burned the Reichstag, the parliament, and he was able to use that as a pretext and say, listen, the enemies, foreign agents, they're fooling with people inside of Germany. I need to have sweeping powers of censorship, political practice, go after these enemies of Germany, who are enemies of the state. So all of this stuff, which is actually sounds creepily familiar to us now, was echoed in Germany at the very beginning of the my point is that one can see January 6th having served the same purpose. So January 6th was deployed. And I think Julie Kennedy makes a point in the film that's very subtle and very important. Because the narrative of the left is that the Trumpsters wanted to stop the count. They wanted to stop the count of the election being assigned or being given to Joe Biden. But Julie Kennedy, the proceeding that was going on at that time was not the count itself, but the questioning of the election. There were other Republicans, Ted Cruz, many others who were going to challenge Georgia, I'm going to challenge Wisconsin, I'm going to challenge Arizona, one by one, and it was a proceeding that
Spotted that
They
one.
wanted that proceeding to continue. Their objective
Requesting
was
gas.
achieved. So the point of the January 6th analysis is to try to bring a fresh way to think about January 6th, because I think it's a very important event. But in some ways, it's an event that has not really been clearly understood.
All right, let's talk about Tax Network USA. Were you overwhelmed recently by Don't worry, you're not alone. But you didn't know about Tax Network USA. How much does the IRS claim that you owe? Tax Network USA can not only help you file your taxes, but help you with installment agreements, penalty abatement, offer in compromise, or even a bank loan. The overwhelming pressure of filing taxes, especially for business or as a self-employed person, can lead to a failure to file on time, or at all, failure to pay penalties that will pile up on top of your tax debt. That's where the attorneys at Tax Network USA come in. They've been absolute lifesavers for many, many people. Their team has successfully saved clients just billion cubic feet. So whether you're in the hole of $10,000 or you're starting at $10 million debt, they are ready to help. Go to taxnetworkusa.com/Liz. That's taxnetworkusa.com/Liz. Ask for attorneys and tax professionals at Tax Network USA are experts. This is your best settlement for you and help resolve all tax cases, no matter how it started. That's taxnetworkusa.com/Liz. No, and at the beginning, the media did such a good job of portraying January 6th as a insurrection that a lot of Republicans even fell for the narrative too, and either spoke out against it or were so worried about it, treated it with, Sean Shaman that they couldn't say anything. It's only been, I think, for the last 6 months, maybe a little bit longer, this year at least, that most conservatives like, wait a second, really fishy happened to January 6th. This is not what we're sentences for people who need to quit. Here's the $1 million question to ask. This is the thought that I kept having for the whole movie. If I say deep state, because I'm talking about government bureaucrats reaching their authority or using their authority, but if the deep state or one of their intermediaries, big targets anybody who use you as an example, me as an example, if we become so effective in exposing our corruption and actually pointing out the problem to try to solve it, that they feel threatened, they come after us, how do we actually solve the problem? Because there are big institutional changes that need to be made. It's not like people 5 people fire them, get them out of office, get them detained. How do we successfully address this so everybody who becomes threats targeted, unfortunately, successfully?
My view on this, Liz, is that the safest place to be is out front and on the front line. And so it's not that easy. So, for example, let's say they come and smash through my door. It's a little too obvious. I just made a film called Police Day. It opens next week. They're at my door. I mean, nothing would gratify this film anymore. And also, having studied the police state, made a film about it, I'm kind of savvy. I'm not going to be like a January 6th protester who's, FBI agents, come sit down. Let me give you a long statement on an 8-hour interview. One of the things we've learned is to be rationally distrustful of many of these institutions that we once trusted really implicitly. So that's the first point. The second point is that there needs to be a shift in Republican psychology. Because, as you say, many Republicans, because they're essentially generally deferential to authority, obviously back to the blue, they actually really speak critically of these agencies. This is partly supposed to be for these guys. Police state is inherently flawless. Now, it doesn't mean that it doesn't use the sort of a typical January 6th proceeding where this judge is putting a gag order right now on Trump. It's normal, and you've got a bailiff,
Gotcha, bitch.
And you've got rules, and you've got the process underway. But on the other hand, when
God damn it, you didn't lose because of me. I almost had 3 helos.
you have a facade of
67 and 34.
Now, we have a Republican House.